Very good evening. I'm Aditi Lama and this is the Tuesday night segment of South Asian Youth with Vision of Asia, bringing you daily updates of our community's voice and identity. This week we start a special edition of Vision of Asia Look Back 2018 review, highlighting some of the major contributions of Indian Americans and the greater diaspora through various spheres this year. Wrapping up 2018, this edition rejoices us again with sentiments of South Asian success and reach. Much to celebrate and reflect on the show tonight, but let's first begin looking at the headlines coming in tonight. Miss India Worldwide 2018 Indian American Shree Saini crowned winner, highlights from Royal Albert Palace in New Jersey. 15th Annual South Asian International Film Festival special screening of Music Teacher in New York City. More on the other side of the break on South Asians and their expressions. Stay with us on Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community. We'll be right back. Welcome again. I'm Aditi Lama and you're watching Vision of Asia, South Asian News segment. Beginning the show tonight, let's take a look at the highlights coming in from Miss India Worldwide Pageant 2018, hosted at the popular Royal Albert Palace and organized by New York-based India Festival Committee in New Jersey. Bringing together international winners of the pageant from various countries, the event produced a strong segment of South Asian women talent and intelligence at the beauty pageant, which aims to celebrate Indian culture values and traditions while also bringing forth a platform for charitable services. This year, Indian American Shree Saini, the winner from Miss India USA 2017, took the title home to USA and was crowned Miss India Worldwide 2018. The pageant also included Mrs. India Worldwide 2018 category, won by Mandeep Kaur Sandhu from India.
हम आज यहाँ न्यू जर्सी में इकट्ठे हुए हैं मिस इंडिया वर्ल्ड वाइड पेजेंट को देखने के लिए एंड इट्स अमेजिंग टू सी द जो गैदरिंग है पार्टिसिपेंट्स फ्रॉम फार ऑफ कंट्रीज फ्रॉम लाइक ऑस्ट्रेलिया, मॉरिशस, सिंगापुर, साउथ अफ्रीका, इवन हंगरी.
Proudly from Mauritius, I am here to depict the multicolored nation, beautifully crystallized in my mind. Roshni means light, and I believe I can enlighten the lives of others, slowly but surely. Thank you.
The program here is so amazing. They are so enthusiastic and very well presented. And every year I see so much of improvement and more participation, and it has been so well organized. I wish all the best to the judges and everybody.
Absolutely spectacular event. So a big thank you to Raj Uppalji for inviting us. We're having an absolutely fantastic time.
Wonderful, amazing, very well organized. Thank you very much.
It's my great pleasure to come for this event, and it's so wonderful to see all the people of the earth coming here together for a wonderful pageant. I'm really thankful to Raj Uppal, who has called me here and invited me to be here on the show. And it's great to be among you all. Thank you very much.
Let's now take a look at our ongoing segments from the recently held 15th Annual South Asian International Film Festival in New York City, which exclusively premiered some independent South Asian short films and documentaries, presenting a number of first-time screenings this year. This year truly brought together some esteemed filmmakers and celebrities, along with various networking events and question and answer interactive segments. Let's take a look at some more highlights from the event with exclusives from the screening of Udali Films' latest venture, Music Teacher, a romantic musical saga directed by Sarthak Dasgupta, and Sickness, directed by award-winning filmmaker and playwright Hamza Zaman. Let's take a look.
South Asian International Film Festival is happening in New York City, and there hasn't been a better avenue to check out some of the finest cinema that exists out there. And I'm here to be a part of it, to see what sort of cinema is getting produced and to be able to enjoy what's out there.
I know we're seeing some of the tribalism today in the media, but 10, 15 years after things get really ugly and the population has been reduced, that's kind of what my imagination is going with right now.
Looking forward to
Welcome
that.
to the Fun Time Happy Show, yes.
Once in a while you see a movie that leaves a lasting impact on you, and I believe this is one of those movies. In the theater there were many people, and you could hear at piece after piece people connecting with the movie in a way like very few pieces of cinema does. And it was so beautiful to see the cinematography, the dialogues, the music. It was just so beautiful.
This being a Saregama film, Saregama basically is a music company, and they have gotten into film production very recently. And so they have this whole, thousands and thousands of music, and I had the open hand to pick and choose anything. That said, I would have probably not used any of these, very famous songs that have been used. Not all, for people who do not know, but some of them are extremely famous Bollywood numbers. This film was not written with that kind of a thing in mind, and but then it so happened that you, as a filmmaker, as an independent filmmaker, you choose your battles and you choose to kind of lose some.
One message that I would like to take from this film is that live in the present, live, laugh, love, life is short.
The background score has been done by this gentleman called Andrew. And he's a British guy, and he does a lot of world cinema, and my brief to him was to maintain silence. And so that's what he's tried to do, and it's kind of, and we needed some kind of a motive, leitmotif, and he created that. We did a lot of dual throw on that, and finally we kind of settled on something. And even I needed it to be very mellow, and so if it is working, then it's because of these kind of decisions that we took. I wanted to kind of have this lingering thing on the characters and not, kind of be very choppy. Though there were sometimes, people have told me to kind of make it fast and all those things, which I didn't. But I think this particular story needed that kind of a pacing.
Yeah, I like the pacing.
But I also knew, because what helped me in the Sundance Lab was also the structuring of it. So I feel that the story really doesn't stop anywhere. It continuously moves, and it kind of brings in a new dimension. It brings you some kind of a surprise throughout the process, and there are a lot of twists and there are a lot of beats of the story, which is why I could kind of take that risk of going slow on the takes, so that without making the whole thing boring. Now, if it is boring, then I'm sorry, but this is what I felt when I made this. and the film deals with the past, his reconciliation with regret, anger, guilt, love, and in the process, he sets off certain events in which he is in a position where he can lose what he has in the present when he's pursuing what he could have got. So that's the film about. So she was like, in a television set, she was like one big celebrity, and all people around her. And so I set the shot, and I said, okay. So we met, we said hi to each other, and then I said, okay, you'll come here. And she laughs when I tell her this now. And then he will turn. So then she said, I will not turn. I said, and then I suddenly see the entire unit is like looking at me. Now, what is this director going to do? Because suddenly this actor has said no, and she's a big deal. So I also didn't know what to do, and so I also did not want to say, okay, go do whatever you want to do. I did not want to do that. So I said, you just come this side and I'll just tell you how I wanted you to do. So I kind of, and there's a long chunk of dialogue which they read out of the teleprompter. So I just read the last line where she had to turn, and then I did last line, and then I turned. And then I looked at her, and this is how I want you to turn. She said, okay, I'll do it. So that's when I thought, when that little bit of ice was kind of broken between us, then I had the courage and I said, okay, I know. So we said, what are you doing? He said, look, I have this script and I've been trying to make it for the longest time. So she said, and then I said, there is a character, will you read it? So she said, yeah, send it. And the next day she was on. My stories deal with a lot of compassion. I feel compassionate about people, human beings, and also my characters, and look at them with compassion. That's what I generally do. So I do have a film which is in a way dark. It deals with the 1984 riots, not the riots per se, but in contemporary times, 3 survivors of the 1984 riots dealing with their past in a way. They had lost everyone of their families in the riots, and how they're dealing with that pain of loss and the psychological trauma that they have carried for so many 35 years, 32 years that we are today post the 1984 riots. So I do have a script called The Lost Lullaby, which deals with that subject. I have seen the kind of films that have been invited, and last year also. And I think not because my film was selected and brought, but the other films also are quite interesting, and I am happy to see those films here, and I hope the curation continues in this way and the best films come.
After the break, we bring you our 2018 in review with much on South Asian Americans. Stay with us in Vision of Asia. We'll be right back. And welcome back. You're watching into Vision of Asia, bringing you prime South Asian highlights from all across. This is our special edition of Look Back 2018 in Review, where we reflect upon some of the strongest displays of community's identity, involvement and accomplishment this year as 2018 comes to a close end. On that note, let's begin tonight's review of the year, taking a look at the reception hosted in honor of Maharashtra Chief Minister Mr. Devendra Fadnavis. Held at the popular Marriott Marquis in New York City, the event saw attendance by Indian community leaders, Indian officials and the delegation of the Chief Minister, hosted by the Consulate General of India in New York in association with Friends of Maharashtra.
Today we saw the amazing side of our Chief Minister of Maharashtra. India lives in its states, and all states, when they do well, when they have such good governance and such good development, it warms your heart. And I think today that feeling was there in the hall when he spoke and then when he answered questions. I think Maharashtra has made amazing strides in the last few years, and I think that is the story. That's the India story. The Maharashtra story is the India story that has to be told, and no better person than Chief Minister himself. And I think people loved it. We had an amazing turnout of more than 400 to 500 people. Every seat was occupied, and there was pin drop silence in the room. And also a great occasion to showcase culture of Maharashtra and culture of India. So on the whole, I think it was an amazing and uplifting event, and people came from far and wide. People came from as far as Boston and Buffalo and Albany and not to speak of Connecticut and Philadelphia and New Jersey. So it was not only a New York event, and I would like to thank Friends of Maharashtra core group, people who worked tirelessly, and my team in the consulate, and I think we put up a very good show
for us. But what helped was from the CM's team, we had pre-planning meetings done. And the pre-planning meeting when we did that 4 weeks back.
Here, what are some of the aims of the organization? What is that the Friends of Maharashtra is trying to accomplish, having events such as this?
So Friends of Maharashtra is very loosely net organization 3-4 years back. And then what we did was we did do the Mumbai meets Manhattan event, first time in 2015, attended by around 800 people at the Taj, the pier. And this was the second series of Mumbai meets Manhattan. Hopefully Chief Minister comes again and again every year, and we keep on doing this.
Let's now look back at New Jersey, where the Indian American community came together in full form to support AATMA Performing Arts at RASA 2018 Annual Showcase. A prominent dance institution in New Jersey, AATMA's RASA Annual Dance Showcase performed and showcased the student body's performance acts with over 170 participating students. Run by Director Amit Shah, this was AATMA's 9th annual presentation, a huge moment of celebration and pride for the dance company with its expression of Indian identity. Let's take a look. ITV, and right here we are at AATMA Performing Arts Recital for 2018. We're here joined by the director of this amazing dance company. We have with us Amit Shah. Amit, thank you so much for being with us on ITV. How does it feel? We're in the middle of your recital right now.
Right now I'm a little bit tense because we're right in the middle of it, but I'm really excited. I think it's always amazing to see what the kids can pull off. You know, they do have the whole year to work on these pieces, but so much of time is spent on technique and training them how to pronounce words and terms. So putting a show together, and the show only happens in the last 12 to 14 weeks. It's really tough, but they always pull it off, and I don't know, this year it's been exceptional.
And Amit, this is AATMA's 9th year, guys. This is the 9th annual recital. They're going by this theme called RASA. So before I even ask you more information on RASA, 9 years in one of the most intense, concrete area for Indian population, to have the success for AATMA and to continuously see the school grow so much, what does that mean for you as a South Asian? And what does AATMA make you feel right now at this 9th year mark?
I mean, it's incredible that 9 years have even passed. When you say 9, I think, wow, okay, yeah, it has been 9. It still feels the same as I did when I first started, which is we just try to do our best work, and we're still so passionate. I mean, 9 years later, we're not tired of this. I mean, this is not something that we are saying we've gotten used to. All of this is still exciting and fresh, and we're trying to come up with new ideas every year. Maybe that's a challenge. This year's theme happens to be Rasa, which is we're doing the Nava Rasas for our 9th year. And I think it was a challenge for our kids to try to portray emotions that they haven't done before or that they're a little bit shy. These 9 emotions are not really easy to portray on stage. Most of the time when they're on stage, they want to be happy. But we've tried to challenge them in a way that really gives them an opportunity to channel a deeper meaning. And I want them to relate dance to real life. So, this is a really great opportunity for them and a challenge for our instructors and our staff. So, even 9 years later, we're still trying and pushing them along and doing what we can to produce good content.
And with this industry of AATMA that you've created, that you're being so humble about right now, Amit, when you are now looking forward to that 10th year anniversary, while we're standing in this beautiful theater at your recital, what is something that the audience should look forward to for AATMA? What is something that you would like to say to your school as well, and for everyone else that doesn't even know about AATMA right now? What can they learn from you, and what should they look forward to?
Our 10th year is going to be probably our most exciting year to date. We have a lot planned. Some of it I can't talk about, but some of it I can in terms of just the celebration of the past 10 years of being able to have a platform to produce content and good art and have the support of so many people. There's people who have been at this show for the past 9 years this year. They've come every single year. Their kids are involved, their families are involved. And for me, AATMA has meant more than just a dance school. It really is a family, and all of us do operate like we fight, we cry, we are just as proud, as a normal family would be. And so for me, this is like 10 years of being a family, and we can't wait for 10 more. I'm going to get emotional, but next year is going to be really special.
And it's time for another short break on our special edition of Vision of Asia Look Back at 2018 in Review. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm Aditi Lamba, and you are tuned into our special ongoing edition of Vision of Asia South Asian News segment, a look back at 2018 in review. Continuing our review of major South Asian stories of the year, let's now take a look at the 4th International Day of Yoga, which saw a great global participation of various countries, a day which is annually dedicated to embracing and educating masses on the great benefits of yoga in wellness and health, an ancient gift from India to the world, as said by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and supported by the United Nations. At the Governor's Island in New York, the Indian Consulate General of India held the 4th International Day of Yoga, also honored by U.S. Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney. Let's take a look.
Yoga community before in the United Nations since I started, and it's benefited my body with plasticity and also in
his passion.
Right from the very beginning of our thinking, our search, we have been searching for 3 things: an ideal human being, a modern society, and good governance. But there has not been any training for this, how to produce an ideal human being. By incorporating yoga into practical life, by changing the feelings of life, by diverting all our energy from physical to psychic, psychic to spiritual, when we create one whole person, and that person should be able to accomplish all the tasks.
So Raj Yoga meditation actually is that method of journeying within and connecting with the inner self, the core, the true being, the true self. And the true self manifests with 7 qualities, 7 core virtues: peace, love, happiness, power meaning like Shakti, inner strength or divine power, purity, wisdom, and bliss.
The need for military strength, whether it be planes or bombs or anything like that, that is being pushing also this need for, that is propelling the conflicts. So religious leaders, ashrams, and they have a very important role to play.
And this wraps up our segment of South Asian happenings for tonight with our edition of 2018 in Review. Do remember to send us your suggestions to get your voices and organizations on our show. Write to us on events@itvgold.com or follow us on our Facebook handle @itvgold. Remember, you can also now subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch many of our shows for free. Join us again tomorrow at the same time. This is Vision of Asia and I'm Aditi Lamba. Take care and be well.